Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you look at the phone in your pocket right now, you aren't just looking at a piece of technology. You're actually holding the end result of a massive, rapidly shifting global supply chain. Today, we're going to map out this fascinating macro-level evolution and trace the geopolitical domino effect that is completely reshaping exactly where the world's technology is born.
To really understand the sheer scale of the global wireless device export market, we just need to look at its staggering valuation. $301.6 billion in 2025. It is just a mammoth industry. Hundreds of billions of dollars are flowing across borders every single year, making mobile phones one of the most vital arteries of global trade. But who actually controls all this flow?
Let's get right into Section 1, the Global Powerhouse Quintet.
Let's dive in and look at the core geographic group driving this entire worldwide industry. It's really a powerhouse quintet that controls nearly 3/4 of all global smartphone exports, 74.3% to be exact. We're talking about mainland China leading the pack at 40.7%, followed by Vietnam at 10.4%, India at 10%, Hong Kong at 7.5%, and the United States at 5.6%. Just 5 regions absolutely dominating the global stage. But the balance of power within this top 5 is shifting right beneath our feet.
Moving on to Section 2, China, the dominant anchor. Let's zoom in first on mainland China, which has long stood as the primary global anchor and dominant exporter of mobile technology. But what's really fascinating is the trend unfolding right now. Without a doubt, China remains the undisputed leader here. However, their export values actually dropped from a towering $138.8 billion in 2022 down to $122.8 billion in 2025. That is a noticeable 9.1% slowdown in a very short window of time.
Which brings us to Section 3, shifting the supply chain.
So the crucial point we have to figure out is what macroeconomic catalysts caused this drop in China's market share. Why is the anchor shifting? We really have to ask why massive tech giants are currently restructuring their deeply integrated value chains all across the globe, especially when relying on a single manufacturing hub used to be the most efficient strategy.
Well, this global supply chain realignment is a strictly economic response by multinationals looking to mitigate some serious risks. Factors like rising US-China trade tensions and heavy tariffs on imported technology have completely reshaped their risk-reward calculus. These high-tech multinationals realize that putting all their manufacturing eggs in one geographic basket leaves them dangerously exposed, so they desperately need supply chain diversification to protect their operations.
Let's look at who is catching that momentum in Section 4, Vietnam's supply chain ascendance.
Let's pan over to a critical global production hub that has masterfully captured this diverted manufacturing demand, Vietnam. By 2025, they secured their position as the world's second-largest smartphone exporter, moving an incredible $31.3 billion worth of devices. And they didn't just stumble into this. They strategically positioned themselves as the perfect stable alternative for companies looking to diversify.
A massive catalyst for this ascendance was Samsung. Think about this for a second. Roughly half of all Samsung smartphones globally are manufactured entirely in Vietnam. In just the first 7 months of 2026 alone, Samsung's Vietnamese operations generated a staggering $39 billion in exports, driven heavily by their new generation of Galaxy Z foldables.
But Samsung didn't just build a few isolated factories. They built a comprehensive ecosystem. With 6 massive manufacturing plants and over 85,000 local employees, they are deeply rooted. Even more importantly, they are actively advising and upgrading a network of 306 local Vietnamese businesses, so those domestic companies can seamlessly plug right into the global supply chain. That's how you build a resilient, long-term hub.
All right, on to Section 5, India's dramatic export surge.
Let's look at our next domino, India, and see how this nation executed a historic pivot from an import-reliant consumer base to an absolute manufacturing titan. They achieved a frankly explosive 11,950% growth rate in mobile exports. Let that number sink in. They jumped from a mere $0.2 billion in 2017 to over $24 billion by 2024. It's one of the most rapid manufacturing scale-ups in modern history.
Less than a decade ago, India was heavily reliant on imports just to satisfy its own booming domestic demand. But look at the turnaround. By 2025, they had become a $30.1 billion export powerhouse, securing the number 3 spot globally. A major engine behind this pivot was the government's 2020 Production-Linked Incentive, or PLI scheme, which directly rewarded massive scale and output.
India perfectly executed the classic Asian economic playbook here. First, achieve massive manufacturing scale. Now they're focusing on deepening domestic value addition, which currently sits at about 23% of production value. And this strategy isn't just padding corporate profits. It has generated over 1.7 million direct and indirect jobs in the sector, accompanied by a substantial boost in export-linked wages for the local workforce.
Of course, none of this export dominance happens in a vacuum. You cannot run a high-tech 21st-century manufacturing ecosystem on 20th-century infrastructure. Think tanks like the Broadband India Forum actively advocate for the advanced digital communications policies, cybersecurity, and robust telecom networks that are absolutely essential to sustain these tech-heavy hubs.
Which leads us to Section 6, the global consumer impact.
So how does this massive shifting of global supply chains impact us, the end users actually buying the devices? Well, it changes how we view the brands we buy. Recent academic research highlights that as these supply chains diversify across borders, consumers are paying much closer attention. Brand transparency and ethical manufacturing integration are increasingly dictating global consumer trust. It's becoming less about just the phone's features and much more about knowing exactly where and how it was made.
Let's wrap things up with Section 7, the future landscape.
As we pull back to look at the big picture, the main takeaway is that the global smartphone landscape is officially decentralized. It's just no longer reliant on a single source. Yes, China absolutely remains the entrenched dominant anchor, but the ecosystem has evolved into a dynamic network. Vietnam has solidified as a highly resilient top-tier hub, while India's scale-first strategy has propelled it right into the top three. The undeniable reality is that multinationals are going to continue demanding geographic diversification.
With the global tech ecosystem evolving at breakneck speed and trade dynamics constantly shifting, it leaves us wondering where the next great shift in this story will take us. As global trade pressures mount, which emerging economy has the infrastructure and the policies to be the next domino to fall in the mobile manufacturing race? It's a fascinating space to watch. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this gave you a whole new appreciation for the incredible journey the phone in your hand took to get to you.